What's up everybody, Silver here with another Halo Master Chief Collection Achievement Guide. This time we're doing Read the Strategy, which is in Halo 2, beat the par time on the level The Oracle. So my least favorite level in all of Halo 2. It involves a lot of standing around and doing nothing. But start off the level. I killed that grunt because that's going to skip a little bit of dialogue. I'm going to kill the second grunt in a second. The grunts freak out when the heretic leader arrives and he's like, oh my god. And they start shooting at him a little bit, but if you kill the grunts, that avoids that little piece of dialogue, so it saves a little bit of time. Here he is. I wanted to get these elites to move up first, though, because they start talking in their own little dialogue piece as well. So you want to start off this room by killing all these elite combat forms that are dead on the floor. You want to use the sword to break up their bodies, because otherwise it takes like 500 melees with any other weapon to break up their body. When their bodies are broken up and split into a bunch of pieces, they can no longer be reanimated by the infection forms. There's going to be a bunch of infection forms that drop down from the ceiling in a little bit, and they're going to reanimate those guys if they are still intact, but we just broke them all up, so there's no risk of that. There's 5 of them, and we're just going to hang out here and wait for this door to open to the right of us. You can see it's red right now. And this isn't necessary 100%, but I'm just having a little bit of fun with this sentinel beam. Nobody ever has fun with sentinel beams, so I'm trying to have a little bit of fun right here, right now. I'm trying to make this level a little more bearable. Starts off, we wait in this room. Then when this door finally opens, we gotta go wait in another room, and then we gotta descend in an elevator for like 5 minutes and do nothing except kill a few enemies. And then we gotta go into the next room and wait in there for a long time while a bunch of enemies come at us some more. And then we could finally progress through the rest of the level. But anyway, we're on the first room. Now we're going to the second room here. I like to go from right to left, so I work my way from the left to the right. Did I say right to left? No, I meant left to the right. I went to the left, killed those people, and worked my way to the right. And then kill a couple sentinels that should be around your height in this room. And then you could start looking up to the left and the right, and you can see there's a bunch of sentinel reinforcements that are coming in. And the par time for this, by the way, is 25 minutes. So we're going to, unfortunately, deal with a lot of this crap. There's going to be a bunch of flood forms that come at us, and we're just, unfortunately, stuck on this elevator. We could attempt to jump down to where we need to go, but unfortunately, there is a death barrier. So it descends with the elevator. So the elevator has to be a certain distance from the floor before you could jump down, which is annoying. So we're just going to hang out here for the ride. It spins around every now and then, but whatever. And again, there's just going to be a ton of flood forms that come at you. You can't really speed up this process by killing the flood fast or anything. So there's really nothing you could do to, speed this part up. It does give you 25 minutes to finish this level, because of the fact that you're going to be in here for like 5 minutes at least, which is really annoying. I do die once in here, on easy, embarrassingly enough. It's because of the fact that I jumped down too soon. I was getting too anxious, and I'm like, I need to get out of here. So I just jumped off the elevator and tried to get all the way down to where I need to be, but I died from the fall damage. So I decided to, stick it out and just wait on the elevator a little more. But the flood forms will continue to jump down at you only from those 2 corners of the room. They kind of look like ladders a little bit. I'm looking to the left one there, and on the right there's another identical corner. That's the only place the flood will come at you from. And we're going to jump off, like I mentioned, in a little bit once we're done with this elevator. We're going to jump off when soon after the second wave of sentinels come at you. So there's that initial wave of sentinels that were already in this room once we entered the room. And once you start seeing sentinels again, you'll know that we are about to jump off. And I'll show you where to jump off and how to jump off and everything. It's pretty easy. So these guys you could actually kill before they even get to your elevator. You can just shoot them, not in the head exactly. You got to shoot them kind of in the upper right chest where you would expect a human heart to be. That's kind of where the infection form is. You actually don't headshot them, you just shoot the infection form out of their chest, which is what's controlling the rest of the flood form. So you'll notice with the carbine and any other precision weapon, when you hold your reticle over it, there will be a small dot in the middle of the reticle if you're aiming at a quote-unquote headshot. It's usually a headshot. but obviously in this case they don't have heads. You can see here that there's sentinels, so we're getting close to that time where we could get down, where we could jump down. And there's actually 2 doors. One door, you can see the video kind of skipped a little bit right there. That's where I died a little bit, or a lot, all the way. You can't really die a little bit. But there's this door, which is lit up in kind of a bluish-greenish light. And if I was looking on the other side, there would be a door that looks exactly the same, kind of a little platform and everything, but it would be lit up with a reddish light, indicating that the door is locked. So obviously the locked door is not the door we want to go to. We want to go to this door, and this thing is now rotating, so I'm just staying over here. It's on this wall. The elevator rotates, the door and everything else does not, so I'm just jumping on top of this door frame, and then I'll jump down onto the platform, and we are good to go. Don't forget about these 2 flood guys. They come out of the corner, and they're like, "What's up, kid? Who let this guy down here? There's not even an elevator to bring him down here yet." So now we're on to the 3rd and final area where we gotta wait out and just sit around and do nothing except for kill a bunch of people. I'm not a fan of waiting around for doors to open. I'm not a waiter. I don't get paid like $3 an hour and rely on tips. That's just not what I do. I chose something else. I'm sure there's some people watching this right now who are waiters or waitresses, but there's nothing against them. I'm just saying I'm not one of them. Therefore, I cannot wait. I cannot wait for doors to open. I can't wait for Halo 5 to come out. Just can't handle it. So when we first came into this room, there were a bunch of flood forms and a couple grunts and an elite that were fighting them off. So we mostly dealt with flood at this point. But once you kill all the flood and covenant, there will be a couple covenant elites. Or not, I guess they're not covenant elites since they're heretics. I lied, technically. They're aliens, though, still. Apparently I left some infection forms alive. I like to kill them with plasma grenades like that. If you're up on the 2nd level, they like to gather under you, so that's why I threw a grenade down from up top there. They all like to just run in circles around you, so that grenade took all of them out, which queued these 4 carbine heretic elites. So that's what I was getting at. There are 4 elites that come at you once you kill everybody in this room. And then after that, there's just going to be a bunch of flood forms that come at you. Mostly combat forms, and there's also a handful of carrier forms that will come at you as well. But those guys are slow moving. Here's one. He jumped down right next to me. Virtually no threat. I like to kill all of the flood forms, the combat forms, with a sword for the most part, because that breaks up their bodies when you use a sword, and that way they don't become reanimated. You can see right there I killed that one with a carbine, but then I wanted to swipe and destroy his body so it was not reanimated by those infection forms that are running around everywhere. So just use your sword as much as you can. Obviously, don't try to take on like 5 combat forms at once. It's on easy, so I guess you could. You probably wouldn't die. You'd probably be fine. But just a general strategy, especially on higher difficulties, is you don't want to lunge into like 5 enemies, because sure, you'll kill that first one, but then you're surrounded by 4 enemies and you're kind of stuck in a recovering animation, and you can't immediately attack another enemy, so they'll get like 4 swipes in on you, and then you'll be dead. So here there's another sword up on that pedestal, that plateau type thing, whatever it is. I don't have a good word to describe it. But there's also another sword on the ground over here to my left right now. There are 2 fresh energy swords in this room. So you should be able to exit this room with a fresh plasma sword. Also, there's a bunch of carbine ammo throughout here. I just ran over that sword I was talking about. After a decent amount of time of killing a bunch of flood people, who are mostly dropping down from the ceiling towards you, this door on the far end will open, and there will be 2 elites and 3 grunts. So kill the 2 elites and the 3 grunts. I guess you could run by them, but I'm just refilling my ammo here, grabbing that fresh sword. So I have a full carbine, fresh sword. I killed all the enemies. There's still some flood forms behind me, but who cares about them? Just run into this door, this airlock, and it will repressurize to the outside pressure. And then we can move on through the rest of the level, unencumbered by stupid rooms where we gotta stand in the middle of the room for like 5 minutes and wait for the door to open. So here we go. There's a handful of grunts and flood to the right. We're just going to go to the left Pretty much the same thing on the left as there would be on the right, but just the initial wave of enemies are to the right. So we're just going to go to the left. You can see I ran past some enemies. If you're looking at my radar, there's 2 elites that spawn towards the right. That's why I was sticking to the left. And it's on easy, so even if they do see you, you could probably just run right past them. I'm going very quickly here, so I think that's what despawned the enemies up ahead here. Normally there's enemies that come out of this doorway, at least. But not this time. You also may have noticed a couple of contacts pop up to my left, and that is a group of sentinels that pop up. But I just ran right past them before they even had a chance to detect and shoot at me. And now we're in here. It's just like 3 or 4 flood forms and then 3 or 4 sentinels. So just take the sentinels out with your carbine and the flood forms out with your sword, and we are queuing a cutscene. We're skipping a cutscene. And now we're going to head to the right. You could go up the ramp normally right there. That's the start of it. But I'm just going to jump up here. It saves a little bit of time since we're going for the part-time. Nothing crazy. You could jump up here. There's faster ways to jump up as well, but who cares? We are coming in well under the 25 minutes required for this achievement. It is on easy as well, so you can just run past these enemies for the most part. I just feel like taking them out for sport, apparently. Just take out those 4 combat forms. There's 3 sentinels up here if you're worried about killing them. Go behind this console and activate the elevator from behind, so you miss the elevator. It goes up by itself, but then activate it again and get under the elevator. It's coming back down now, and don't worry, you don't have to be crouched or standing or in a specific position. You will get launched up through the elevator shaft, and you will land about here if you're pressing forward. And you are now invincible. You heard me right. You cannot die. You can't take any damage. I guess you could die if you fall down a hole, but just don't fall down a hole. What are you doing falling down holes? You can see here, oh, I threw a nade at the floor to display the fact that I won't take any damage from it, but then it fell through the floor, so that was a glitch. But I'll show it again in a second. I'm just going to run to the second cable out of 3. There we go. That one definitely blew up at my feet, and I took no damage. I am completely invincible, as I mentioned many times. So we just took out the second cable, and we're going to run to the third one. There is a timing thing we're going to have to do in a second in order to get back down, because becoming invincible actually messes with the gravity for some reason. It does come back to normal in a little bit, but I'll just show you what to do in a second. Once you kill this third cable, or destroy it, detach it, cut it, whatever, immediately go to the middle of this map, to the elevator shaft that you came through, and go to the edge of it, then 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, and then fall down. Don't jump down, just walk off the edge. And then you can see there's some weird gravity going on. I'm going to jump, and, why am I not falling? You could accelerate your falling by crouching rapidly. You can see I did that there. But the gravity is very weird at this point. It does not get back to normal until you go through the Banshee segment. So you can see here I did not jump because that would just send me up and I would not fall down quickly, so I just decided to walk off the edge rather than jump off the edge. And at this point, we're just going to wrap around. You might be able to jump across, straight across, but I don't want to try it. Maybe if you want to have a little bit of fun. But again, we're going for the part-time, so don't do that on your part-time run. Then we go here, there's a cutscene, skip that. We're in the Banshee. This is the Banshee section where you just drive straight at the waypoint and don't do anything else. I don't know why this section is in the game. Kind of silly. I'll take it though. There's another cutscene. Maybe they just wanted to add more cutscenes. And then you just go over here. The gravity is now back to normal, so we're good on that front. And now we're just running back through the level of the Arbiter basically, but in reverse. So even though the gravity is back to normal, you are still invincible through the rest of the level. Unfortunately, it doesn't carry over into other levels. That would be awesome and make this game really, really easy. But unfortunately, it only lasts to the end of this level. But that's fine. We'll take what we could get, I guess. So again, we're just running back through the level. If you have not checked out any of my videos before this video, I have LASO guides up. Yes, I have LASO guides up for all of the games, Halo CE, 2, 3, 4, and ODST. I don't think anyone else on the internet has guides up for LASO, at least all of the games. So definitely check those out if you're having trouble with LASO. I know a lot of people have trouble with LASO, as it is the toughest thing ever manifested within a Halo game. I also have the 3-hour speedrun guides up. I'll be doing guides for every single achievement in every single Halo game, even the old ones like Halo Wars and Spartan Strike and Halo 2 Vista and all the obscure ones, and all the not obscure ones like Halo 4 and the original Halo 3 for the Xbox 360 achievements. Also, the Halo 3 achievements in Master Chief Collection as well. I already have up hundreds of videos for various achievements throughout Halo games, including about 400 out of 600 Master Chief Collection achievements, so check those out. I'm only going to be adding more as time goes on. I usually have one up at least one a day on average, I try to aim for. Sometimes more. So kill the heretic leader. He is going to be the guy up on top of the Seraph, like you saw, not the first two that you see. And that is it, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Click like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Follow me on Twitter at HaloCompletion, and I'll see you later for more achievements.